The NFL Week 7 morning game preview and pick show on the Sports Gambling Podcast, on the NFL Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has just added Pick'em Scorchers, where you can win up to 100 times what you put in. That's right, turn 5 into 500 in just one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% bonus up to $500. Also brought to you by Game Time. Last-minute tickets, download the Game Time app, create an account, code CFBX, $20 off your first purchase. Also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or just go over to visit HOFBets.com and use the code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And we're giving away $3,000 in NFL Second Chance Survivor, presented by Corey Pinkston and Barking Dog Properties. Free to enter by just going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor.
I'm just about that action, boss.
And welcome, everybody, back to the NFL Gambling Podcast. Got that one right, as part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Week 7 is here, which means we begin the second third of the NFL season. The first third, 33% done of the Week 18 slate that they started a couple years ago with the addition of the 17th game. If you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, and I'm joined each and every episode on the NFL Gambling Podcast Morning Games Preview and Pick Show by Mr. JMark Football, Mr. Old Fashioned Football. What's up, brother? We got a short slate. It must be bye week time.
Definitely bye week time. My mind is blown right now. I was tweeting out. Sometimes I try to hashtag, sometimes I don't. It just depends how I'm feeling based on the day. And I was hashtagging and realized it's no longer the trusted gambling Twitter hashtag that it's always been. It has officially switched over to hashtag gambling X. And it just felt weird to type it out.
I guess you could save 5 characters by just throwing up the X. I guess that's a pro. Almost just knocked over my beer trying to throw up the X. So don't do that if you're at home. That's a party foul. So you're going to have to do a keg stand shot of whiskey if you do that. So, yeah, man, I guess what's your take on this only 6 games on the early slate? I'm not a fan. There needs to be at least 7 in the early window, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, at least with NFL Ticket through YouTube, I can watch the majority of the games, right? Because I can have the 4 screens on one and then whatever's on regular TV on a different TV. So, but hey, look again, our 2 teams right back where they belong in the morning slate, so we can handicap them and be upset when we're wrong.
Against them.
Yeah, that's right. And just talking about picks real quick, kind of on a heater here. I mean, you're doing better in the picks. You're 32-18. I'm not far behind you, 29-21. And I can beat my chest, I guess, about my locks 4-2, and you can beat yours about your dogs 4-2. Woo! Teasers both doing awesome. I'm 14-4. You're 13-4 because you do have a little push in there, but who's counting. And we still keep getting pretty close to hitting that money line round robin parlay. One of these days, that's going to pop off. But if you are doing the round robin, like we're suggesting, it's still profiting you money. So we're good there.
100%. Yeah, I think we've hit 2 out of 3 in 4 out of the 6 weeks at least.
Yep, 4 of 6.
Yeah. Fucking Saints. I mean, I got a bone to pick still from week 3. That is such a joke that did not hit. Yeah, and you know what?
1.
I know we're up 18-0 because we had to grind out one of the 3 games. I forget the other 2 games we had. That's how it goes. You only remember your losses. You never remember your wins. Unless you win everything, but which is going to happen this week, so it's going to be a memorable Sunday. But yeah, JMark, it's definitely been a profitable first third of the season. And I think we're entering the phase where you really got to deep dive on some of these matchups with the injury report, situational spots, teams coming off a bye, teams headed into a bye, back-to-back road spots, injury reports. I think I already said that. But yeah, no, this is the time of year you really got to dive into these matchups. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I do. And you said injury report twice because they change all the time. I mean, we heard what weeks ago that Watson was questionable to play, but then he was medically cleared and he hasn't played yet. So
he must have got a bad massage or something before the game.
Right.
I know that jackass. And you know what they did without him? They freaking beat the Niners. Hope he got in on that one last week. I'm pounding my chest still off that money line pick. Them and the Jets. But yeah, let's dive into this slate on the other side. There is no London game, so we will not preview the London side on the front end of the ad break. But we got to talk about, well, you might have had the Niners or you might have had the Eagles last week. And if you did, well, you're freaking out of the Survivor. But don't worry. The SGPN Second Chance Survivor is here. And, it's easy. Everybody just needs a second chance sometimes. I mean, whether you're going out on a date that wasn't successful, and, it's like, God damn it, I just want a mulligan. It's like hitting – you hit the first ball off the tee right into the woods, mulligan, breakfast ball. Well, here's your breakfast ball if you took the Niners or Eagles. Get over there, presented by Corey Pinkson and Barking Dog Properties, $3,000 up for grabs. Winner take all starts this weekend, so sign up now. Get over there, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. We're also brought to you by, ourselves, the NFL Gambling Podcast. We're doing a review contest. Leave an Apple Podcast simply with your favorite touchdown-related bet for this weekend. Biggest winner can get a $50 SGPN gift card, and that store is on fire. So you're going to want to win that gift card where you can get at least a couple shirts out of that, and they got some good shit over there at the SGPN merch shirt. So get over there and check that out. Make sure you include our YouTube username or your YouTube username in the review. You can say ours too. I mean, it's up to you. But make sure you put your name so that we just don't know, hey, X-Man69. I mean, you gotta freaking give all the details so that we can know where to contact you. So hopefully you get in on the Second Chance Survivor over at the sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. Introduce Scorchers, going 5 for 5 and pick them, and you can enjoy a spicy 100 times payout. How about that? JMark, I always ask you for the Thursday night lean headed into for an underdog play. We got the Saints coming in. We got the Jaguars. Still don't know if Trevor Lawrence Goldilocks is playing. It sounds like it's going to come down to the wire. Lines bounce around 1 or 3. Make sure you tune into the Thursday night preview show. Those guys will dive into that matchup with first touchdown props and all that good stuff. So make sure you check that out. But JMark, do you have one that you like in particular tomorrow? Maybe some Kamara stuff?
I got a couple things here. Tank Bigsby. I know ETN is carrying the ball more than anybody else, but they're still working Tank in there higher than just 11.5 rushing yards. That feels like an easy hit to me. And then Derek Carr, I think they're going to pass the ball on this Jacksonville team, or at least try to. So I'm going to go higher than 31.5 passing attempts. And why not? Let's throw a kicker prop in there. Jacksonville Jags kicker Brandon McManus, higher than 6.5 kicking points.
You heard the man. He's back in the Saints. So don't let us down like you did in week 3 at Lambeau. By the way, the Packers have not won a football game since that day. So even more reason to make you sick, JMark, that the Packers of all teams were the ones that cost us their 33-1 parlay, and they haven't won a game since. Watch along your side, make a couple picks, and maybe win a little bit of cash over on Underdog's mobile website, underdogfantasy.com. And when you use that promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. All righty. We are here. Game 1 of 6. What you got?
Breaking news. Jets are trading Mecole Hardman back to the Kansas City Chiefs for a late round draft pick swap. Maybe he'll pop off for the Chiefs now. Who knows?
Probably, just like everybody pops off for the Chiefs. Thanks for reminding me. Let me pull up the X, Twitter, whatever the hell you call it, because you never know when you're going to get some breaking news on the injury report. I got nothing currently, so I'll keep monitoring this. Where's Schefter? Yeah, Shefty Hardman's the last thing he tweeted. So we don't have any breaking injury news in the last 6 minutes. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo did not practice. So, hey, there we go. We'll get to the Bears here in a minute. But let's lead it off in this early slate. Cleveland going to Indy. Cleveland is laying 2.5. Do we have a report? Oh, Deshaun Watson did not practice today. Oh, man. They got it. They need to invest. They need to redo the budget, get some more massage parlors around him so he can get that shoulder right, groin right, whatever the hell's going on. Man, I love the Browns. I'm as high on the Browns as anybody, but this feels like a great spot for the Indianapolis Colts to bounce back. They outgained the Jaguars in yardage, had more first downs, but the turnovers, Minshew's interceptions just absolutely killed any momentum. I feel like you got to fade a team that was a 10-point dog that won on the money line. Like kind of like dump the Gatorade type game. I looked back, PJ Walker, the game after they upset Tom Brady last year in Carolina, because that was the comparison I thought of. I'm like, I don't remember a double-digit dog winning outright recently in the NFL. So I dove back and I remember Carolina beating Tampa Bay. They did lose in Atlanta the next week. So I can't lay points with PJ Walker on the road. I think it's going to be PJ Walker. And honestly, if it's Deshaun Watson, does it really matter? Like, I still lean to Indianapolis. If anything, Ranger Walker's an upgrade from Deshaun Watson potentially. What's your take on this game, man?
Yeah, no, this definitely feels like it's set up to be an ultimate letdown, right? You just upset the Niners, who many people were saying could be Super Bowl favorites, along with the Eagles there for the NFC. And you pull off a win with a backup quarterback. You got all those emotions going, then you go on the road. And yeah, it just seems like a letdown. Also, if you don't have a VSiN subscription, I recommend getting one, but they have awesome data on trending, which I've been doing articles on, and the past 2 weeks, 8-2, picking 5 games a week, 8-2. But looking at some of the trends in this game, Cleveland, after they have a straight up win, not too good against the spread. 3-12 after a straight up win in the last 15. They're also not good as favorites. 3-11-1 against the spread. The Colts, after playing Jacksonville, they're 9-1 against the spread against elite defensive teams, which I would say the Browns are an elite defensive team. They do very well. They're 20-5 in the last 25 games. So I think if you look at the trends, if you look at that letdown spot, I got to go with the Colts here. I think they cover this, and I think they win.
I like it. I know I was on the Colts last weekend. I'm still a little bitter because I thought that the turnovers were just a killer. If he could take care of the ball a little bit. Another thing you mentioned, VSiN. I got VSiN betting splits pulled up for that crowd, man. Cleveland's as public a team this week as any team on the slate. So you're getting Cleveland as a road favorite, as a public road favorite. I that's an auto fade for me. I got to take the Colts. This is just kind of a system bounce back, like Nick Fortune talking in the chat. I do not have weather in this game because it's in a dome. And hey, real quick though, looking at the injury reports, they're technically not out. Do you think Minshew can because it's going to be Minshew's team from here all the way out. There's no can Minshew prove himself for a game or two until Richardson comes back. Richardson's out for the whole year, so they're stuck with Minshew for 11 games. This is why you go get a Gardner Minshew, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a guy who he has the experience in the league. He's won some important games. I realize he's had some bad seasons as well, but he's used to this spot. It's not going to be a new thing for him. And you're absolutely right. This morning they confirmed that Richardson having that season-ending shoulder surgery. I think that makes Minshew probably want to play even better, right? He's got something to prove. He's got to prove like, hey, I can help lead this team. They were all excited about their shiny new rookie, but I got to come in here and prove that it don't matter that he's out. I can carry this team. So I think he didn't look great last week. I think this is a good bounce back for him as well.
Yeah, and another game to get Jonathan Taylor more involved. They got way too pass happy. I know they went down early, so ride those two running backs. I know it's going to be tough to run on Cleveland. Another trend going in our favor, JMark. I know the Cowboys just won, but those teams that have played San Francisco recently, the week after, have not been good because of just the toll it takes on playing that physical last team. And we saw that. I mean, it was chippy before the game, brawls breaking out, dust ups. It was beautiful. Football was back in Cleveland this weekend. So, yeah, I think we handicapped this one pretty well. We're both on the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out to Gary in the chat, the defensive guru, right after we get talking about that strong defensive team in Cleveland. If you have any defensive questions for fantasy football, Gary's your guy.
Yes, Gary Van Dyke, baby. Great dude. All right, I think I got everything I wanted to say out of that. Go Colts, go. Oh, God, no. Not my team. No, not this game. Buffalo going to New England. I can't stop betting the New England Patriots. They got to bounce back eventually, right? God damn. So Buffalo's going there, laying 8.5. They take it personal every time they play New England because Brady kicked their ass for 20 years. What's the weather look like in this game? This actually is important because New England is known for not having good weather in October, November, and December. Pulling up the weather report early. What do we got here? Why is it not pulling up? The Belichick's rigging the weather. If you see the weather, let me know. So how healthy is Josh Allen is one of my biggest things right now. He banged up that shoulder last year. About at this time, he banged up that elbow. They're banged up on the defensive side. I'm gonna do it again.
Oh no!
I'm taking another divisional dog and. Oh, God. This is going to be the time where nobody's going to take New England. Nobody's going to take it this time. I felt like everybody actually was taking them last week, and we should have been more hesitant with it just because the last 2 weeks, the Saints game, the Raiders game, everybody was writing them off. Everybody was on them. Everybody's wrote them off. Nobody is betting New England this week. Buffalo's covered 4 straight. They've blown them out 4 straight. Give me Belichick and the Patriots one more time. I guess one more time until I probably bet them next week, too. They got to cover eventually, right?
I mean, you would think so, but in the last 15 games, they're 2-13 against the spread as underdogs. And where they are playing, I feel like they're going to continue to be underdogs. I mean, and you said it, Buffalo has kind of owned this team, and they've owned them at Gillette Stadium 6-1. I did bring up the weather. It looks like we got a high of 39 degrees, 11 mile per hour winds. I mean, that is football, is it not?
Oh, yeah. Buffalo's in trouble.
Buffalo loves that cold weather, though. Josh Allen said his shoulder's nothing to worry about. And I know you could say maybe this is a look-ahead spot before playing Miami. However, going on the road before playing Miami, 6-0-1 against the spread. Buffalo on the right side of that trend. I agree with Nick. He says this would be a good teaser for the Bills down to 2.5. but I also love them at 8.5. That Patriots team is garbage right now. I don't trust them for anything. You keep taking them. I'm going to keep fading them, though. I will no longer trust this team, so I'm fading them. Give me Buffalo by 8.5.
Don't do it to me again, Belichick. No, the Patriots are the ones that have the Dolphins.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so hey, there you go. You gave me a trend.
You're right. No, it says versus opponent before playing Miami. You are correct. Sometimes reading these VSiN trends are tricky. It's saying as an opponent before the opponent plays Miami, they're 6-0.
So it's not going. So you're telling me New England's 1-5 against the spread, and they got an 0-6 trend going against their way, and the Bills have slaughtered them 4 straight ever since the windy game in Buffalo. You said there's wind in the forecast. Let's go, Patriots. One
So
more
you're saying
time.
there's a chance.
Belichick, this is the time. Billy O'Brien, they're going to get that thing turned around. Yeah, man, I can't pass up a divisional dog. You know me, my heart's in it. I'm all in on the Patriots. I have not been so wrong on one team that I could ever remember. I mean, I thought the Patriots were going to be a playoff team coming into the year, and maybe I'm just being beyond stubborn. But I gotta think Belichick's not going 3-14. I know they fucking look awful right now.
I'm starting to see a lot of chatter about Belichick being done in New England and them possibly trading him. And do you know what team I heard as the favorite? The Commanders.
Oh, please.
Trade
Thank
Belichick
God.
to the Commanders.
So what's Ron going to do?
Right. He can go back to maybe being defense. I don't know.
Yeah, he can go back to freaking I don't know. God bless Ron, nice guy. Not very good, and we'll talk about his game here in a minute. I mean, I would love Belichick as a coach. I don't really want his GM skills. I think GM Bill is killing Coach Bill right now with that roster. They just don't have the horses to compete with Buffalo and Miami, and here I am taking them against Buffalo. Hey, I will say they kept it.
Jones.
They kept it close against Miami at home, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, that's the kind of game I'm feeling. A low scoring. These two teams know each other. I'm talking myself into it. All right.
And then
when they're down 14-0, go ahead.
They kept it close against Miami, and then Miami got slaughtered by Buffalo. So
true. When they're down 14-0 in the first 5 minutes, I'm just gonna take a shot of Fireball and sink into this Patriots swamp a little bit more. So I've taken them literally every single week. So they're due. So all right, we'll dive into the other 4 games on the other side. But first, we got to talk about Game Time. If you want to get over the Patriots-Bills game, get over there at Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be stressful. It's fastest way, easiest way to buy tickets. All sports comedy and a theater near you with killer deals on last-minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for all the fun you're going to have. Flash deals, last-minute tickets. Easiest way to find buying tickets for every kind you want to go. Lowest price guaranteed. Event cancellation. You got to have that, even though you know they're not going to freaking cancel a football game. This isn't freaking soccer. But yeah, you got to make sure you have the protection just in case. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time ads only on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and theater. And it means you'll have the best price that'll credit you 110% of the difference if you find a better deal. Get images of your seats before, and they'll send it right to you. You don't got to freaking dig through your spam email. That's crucial. I get too much of that bullshit. Download the Game Time app, create an account, CFBX for the code, $20 off. Again, terms apply. Create an account, redeem code, CFBX, $20 off. Game Time, last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. And I mean, you guys have been following us. We love some Hall of Fame bets because you can win bigger with the NFL season. They got everything. NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer. Soccer, how about that? Enter any parlay idea. The Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool for each leg that they'll break down so you know the probability headed into which leg has better value than others. Stop betting in the dark. Join over 30,000 users researching Hall of Fame Bets. Crafted more intelligent, data-driven parlay. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com, promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets. All righty, we're back on the NFL Gambling Podcast. Moving along in this slate. Next up, we got... What do we got up next?
Sorry.
All good.
Technical difficulty.
Yes, here we go.
There we go.
Sometimes, sometimes the banners glitch. StreamYard can act up every now and then. We got the Vegas Raiders going to the Windy City, where the Chicago Bears are going to get in the win column on Sunday. I'm calling it right now. We're going to have a battle of backup quarterbacks, aren't we?
I think so. Jimmy Garoppolo not playing because of that back, and there's no chance Justin Fields plays, I don't think. So we got Brian Hoyer, the old man that's been on pretty much all 32 teams against Special Agent Bagent, the rookie out of Shepherd University.
Let me ask you this, JMark. Simple handicap. The Raiders won 2 in a row. They won that filthy game on a safety I don't want to talk about. I just talked about it on the Patriots breakdown. There is no way in hell we can lay 3 points with Brian Hoyer on the road off back-to-back wins. What are we doing here?
Yeah, and the Raiders aren't even they're not a good team. I realize you win 2 games. Yeah. Bears defense has definitely started picking it up these past 2 weeks. I know one of that was against those terrible Commanders, and then
who are the Commanders?
Right. And then against the Vikings, but I've actually been impressed with how this defense has been playing. I think Bagent, like I said on our recap, I think he was thrown in a really tough spot, but he's an accurate passer. He's going to be settled down a little bit more. He's got work with the first team now. So I think he's going to look better. And the funny thing is, I was talking about those betting trends on VSiN, right? You can go and look at the betting trends. I don't think I've ever seen this. So if you have looked at it before, it's red if it's a bad trend that is against the spread on that team. It's green if it's good. Out of the 20 to 25 trends it has for both of these teams, all red. It's all red on both of them. There's no positive trend to back on this. So I think you just got to go with your gut then. And my gut says take the Bears.
How does our weather look in the Windy City? I'm assuming there's going to be shit weather.
Windy?
Yeah, windy, maybe a little bit of snow. That's what we need. Yeah, JMark, I thought the Bears should have won the game on Sunday against the Vikings. I know Bagent
should have.
Bagent had the big fumble, but we see this so many times with the backup quarterback. They get a week of practice, they get all the first team reps, and then they feel more comfortable. He was in a tough spot coming in for Justin Fields. I think if you take the Raiders this week, you're a maniac. I don't see how you can lay points with Brian Hoyer on the road. I don't care who they're playing it yet, and they're public. I'm looking at it right now. I mean, 75% of the bets are on them. No, thank you. Give me the Bears all day. This is definitely going to be in our money line round robin. There we go. Let's go right to it. We are going to bring in a special guest on the NFL Gambling Podcast. See, he's mad at me because I took the Patriots. So now he's got to come in and tell me why I'm wrong. And the Bills are going to slaughter New England once again. Joining us on the NFL Gambling Podcast, Chief Editor Adam Pelletier. What's going on, man?
I'm sorry, Ryan. Did I hear you say that you're taking the Patriots?
The Bills are my Super Bowl pick, but the situational spots.
Oh my gosh, Ryan, what are you thinking? I'm
Division
nervous.
dog.
I'm nervous that you're going to lose a lot of people money this weekend, and they're not going to listen anymore. Okay, the Bills are going to absolutely destroy the Patriots, as Rob used to say when we started the SGPN Fantasy Podcast. This is when Adam would show up to take you to the principal's office. So. This is what this segment used to be called. Adam getting taken to the principal's office. The New England Patriots are an absolute dumpster fire right now. Okay?
Agreed.
There's no other way to put it. 8.5 points is too low a line. If this stays under 2 touchdowns, you want to smash the Bills to cover all day long because Buffalo's offense is going to be looking for a get-right game here. The Patriots were so desperate, they brought back J.C. Jackson, who is not good. He's old, he's aging, he's just broken down, and Stephon Diggs is going to cook. Josh Allen is going to want a big game, and Bill Belichick doesn't have anything to contain him or keep him from just going off. And we saw the fits that this defense gave to Tua in the Dolphins offense. You think Mac Jones is going to be able to survive? Tyrod Taylor had fits and he can run. Mac Jones is about as mobile as a tripod. He's going to get eaten alive by this Bills defense, this Bills pass rush with Von Miller back. Did you see that clip of Von Miller going around Evan Neal like he was a traffic cone? I mean, this is where we're at right now.
We'll see, man. I think Belichick's got one last stand up his sleeve. Everybody has counted him out this week. I haven't heard one person say Patriots, which I don't blame anybody for not taking the Patriots. That's why I'm taking them.
I mean, 8.5 is a big line. I'll give you that. 8.5 is a
divisional
big
dog.
Number.
Yeah.
Adam, when performance reviews roll around, I'd like the record to state that I did take the Bills, and I like your new setup there. It's very nice.
Thank you. I'm excited. I just I got a co-working membership, and the reason I went with it was because they have this awesome podcast studio. So
nice.
Looking to up the production game here a little bit from the desktop camera.
Yeah,
very cool.
That's sharp. Adam, do you want to pick some more games, or were you just coming in to?
Yeah, I'll pick a few. Yeah, let's pick a few games. I didn't even know when I was getting in here.
All right, we just finished this one. What side you on?
I mean, it's got to be the Raiders
Bills
here. I
took the Bills.
You can take the Bills all you want, but you can't tell me Justin Fields is going to play quarterback this weekend. And I've watched Nathan Peterman throw a football directly to the defense.
It's Agent Bagent.
It's Special Agent Bagent.
You're going to tell me a D2 quarterback is going to play the entirety of an NFL game?
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Are you confident in Brian Hoyer laying points on the road?
Yes, I am. I am very confident in Brian Hoyer because Brian Hoyer is an NFL quarterback. I know Brian Hoyer is an NFL quarterback. I don't know that Secret Agent Bagent is an NFL quarterback. And I definitely know Nathan Peterman isn't. Trust me, I'm excited for the Nathan Peterman XFL, USFL, UFL experiment to come along. I can't wait for that. Nathan Peterman's going to take the Arlington Renegades to the XFL Super Bowl in 2 years when he finally gets dropped out of the NFL, and Bagent will be on the other sideline, and I'll be excited for that then. I don't want anything to do with either of those quarterbacks this weekend, though.
This is spring. This is spring football. I mean, we got what? The first game we picked was Cleveland, Indianapolis. You got Ranger Walker going against Gardner Minshew. Then you got.
Don't you disparage Philip Walker like that?
I love me some Ranger Walker. I was on the Browns last week. Get that Niners shit out of here. I hate the Niners. So, all right, let's go to the next game. Don't tell me it's. Oh God, here we are. Washington Redskins going to New York Football Giants, an old NFC East divisional matchup. So the Giants had the sellout game. They all the marbles were in. Dayball homecoming to beat the Bills. I don't know who's going to start this week. It sounds like it's going to come down to the wire. Some people want Tyrod. I personally may favor Tyrod over Dan Jones. Don't tell Kramer, but what's my rule, man, against my team? Do not lay points with Ron Rivera. I hope the Skins win by 1. I'm taking the Giants.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, we've said it every week. You back Ron Rivera and the Commanders as a dog. You fade him as a favorite. It's not like this Giants team is good either. I realize that, but I feel like they picked up a little bit of confidence playing that game so tight last week. I actually liked how Tyrod Taylor looked. I think they ought to roll with him again. Because he looked good. I mean, he looked feisty. He was warmed up and revved up and ready to go. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants here. Sorry. I mean, if it's wrong, at least you're happy because your team wins, right?
Exactly.
Listen, I mean, Ty Goat is a thing, and I think he should probably be starting over Daniel Jones the way Daniel Jones has looked right now, but that would just be too much of a shot to his fragile Duke private school confidence right there. He's not being handed this job the way he got handed the Duke job. And the thing that you need to keep in mind with this Commanders team is Sam Howell is one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And that Giants pass rush and defense gave Josh Allen and the Bills some issues. And if Okoye plays out of his mind again, like he did last weekend, there's no way Sam Howell is going to play a clean game. And that's what this all comes down to. And the challenge for Washington is Sam Howell's dropping back 50, 60 times a game to throw the ball. You know, he's throwing the ball 40 times and he's getting sacked 6 or 7 times and he's scrambling 3 or 4 times. He's a young kid, but they got to get something going in front of him so he's not running for his life week after week. He's showing why he was a consent. I mean, just remember, the thing I always go back to with Sam Howell, he was the consensus number 1 at one point. Okay. He was the QB1 in that class before he fell off. But he's showing he probably belonged still in that conversation because we didn't look enough into he lost everything. He's doing all of this with Eric Bieniemy just copy pasting Andy Reid's playbook. So what's he going to do when he gets an actual offensive coordinator and offensive coach? I like the Commanders long-term. I like Sam Howell long-term. Give me the Giants this weekend, though, coming off a tight game last week. I think they're going to stay up against a division rival.
And to add to it, you know, Kramer always talks about the divisional flow charts. The Giants own the Skins. I've seen it my whole life. For some reason, they played the Eagles well. I mean, they either beat the Eagles or basically almost beat them unless they fucking don't go for 2 again. But I mean, they beat them last year. Jalen Hurts has only lost as a starter other than the Super Bowl. But the Giants, I mean, that was what cost Ron the playoffs last year, even though he didn't know he got eliminated. So, yeah, this is simply a flowchart game. And this is also the trap line. Don't you agree, JMark, to take the 2.5, lay the 3.5? I think everybody's going to be running to bet Ron, who is a public favorite too, coming off the win against Atlanta. Yeah, man, I just hope they win by 1. But I do not see them. I do not see them covering this number, and honestly, I don't see them winning. Unfortunately, I've seen this shit too many times.
Right.
Spoken like as someone. Listen, Mac, there's hope. Okay, Sam Howell could be your Josh Allen. I mean, I don't think he's got the arm, but
I don't
he
know
could
about
be
that,
the guy
but...
who turns your whole franchise around. I've been there. Okay, there were 20 years in the desert as a Bills fan. The majority of my life and adult life was just spent wandering. It's coming. You're going to get to the promised land eventually.
This is why Adam seems so angry all the time.
It really is. It was. Listen, if you had to watch Mike Mularkey's run-heavy offense, okay, you would be angry too. If you had to watch Dick Geron coach your team for 3 seasons, you would too.
I did have to watch that as a Bears
you
fan.
did, yeah. JMark, you understand that Dick Geron
Yes.
pain. Okay, now just roll that in with then the Chan Gailey era, which was fun but cheap, and it's just there's pain on top of pain on top of pain, just emotional trauma at the end of the day when your team is bad for 20 years.
Yes, there is, and yeah,
that
well said. Well, so yeah. There's I don't know.
You got the new owners.
Children.
You got the new owners. The turnaround is coming.
I hope so. Yeah,
they're going to tank for like 5 years. They're going to use the 76ers plan.
They got to get out of FedEx, which was Buffalo South there a couple weeks ago. They got to get into DC, get into where they can have a fan base and a home field again, and then get rid of that stupid C word name. That's offensive to me. So moving along in the slate, game 5. I'll tell you a game I really don't have a feel on. This one right here. Atlanta going to Tampa Bay, 2 very inconsistent teams. Tampa Bay laying 2.5. Desmond Ridder still has not won a road start. He was undefeated at home, though. And then Ron, as a dog, goes into the dome, gets it done. Hey, there you go. Flow chart. Take Ron as a dog, fade him as a favorite. Atlanta outgained the Skins by 2-1 yardage. They kind of outplayed him other than Ridder just completely shit himself down the stretch. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, everybody was kind of backing them last week to fade the Lions, but man, the Lions just keep rolling, and we'll talk about the Lions here after this. But I kind of like the Falcons here taking the 2.5 in a game that I think comes down to a field goal. I can honestly see Atlanta winning this outright, but it seems like the Falcons play a tight game every single fucking game. So I'll take the divisional dog, giving me 2.5, 2 evenly matched teams. How about you, JMark?
Yeah, I agree with you. This was probably the hardest one when looking at this slate here, because I expected the Bucks to look more competitive. I kind of want to take them just as a bounce back spot, but the Falcons have looked good too, and I think they can control the whole game narrative by just running the shit out of the ball. Right, that's what they should be doing, especially with Desmond Ridder as your quarterback. But I'm going to go with my gut of the Bucks bouncing back here. I think they got a little bit humbled after starting the season off pretty hot, and I think they're going to go back home here and kind of check themselves, say, all right, Lions just kind of embarrassed us here, but we got the Falcons and that's nothing. So let's take on these Falcons. Let's beat them and take care of business. So I'm going to take the 2.5.
God, I mean, 2.5 is just, it's right at that number where it's close enough. And Atlanta's been playing teams really tough. They haven't given up 30 points yet in a game. They haven't given up more than 24 even, but they're not scoring more than 25 in a game. You know, this Falcons team is just an anomaly. It doesn't feel like a modern NFL team. Yeah. And the thing that just has me thinking I need to be on Atlanta is we're finally starting to see Drake London. He's really emerged these last couple of weeks, and that's adding an element to this Atlanta team that hasn't existed in a couple years, as Desmond Ridder is at least figuring out how to throw the dang ball to Desmond Ridder is figuring out how to throw the dang ball to Drake London, which adds something to that running game. If this was a higher line, I would probably be on Atlanta. If it gets up to like 3.5, 4.5, give me Atlanta. But at 2.5, give me the Bucks. I just think Baker Mayfield's been playing well. This Bucks offense is good, and the Bucks defense is still going to be able to give a young quarterback like Desmond Ridder fits.
No disagreement other than I took the Falcons, but I mean, like I said, this game is kind of a crapshoot. For the crowd wondering that may sway your opinion, Tampa Bay is definitely the more public side. But I mean, like you said, this is a divisional game. This game's going to come right down the wire. Three points either way. So, all right. So two on the Bucks, 1 on the Falcons. Weather's not going to be bad in Tampa. It's beautiful. All right. Final game in the slate. JMark's Detroit Lions are going to Baltimore. I think JMark's headphones just went out. Headphones went out again.
I'm back.
I see. Yep, you know, we've been the show long enough where I see you go like this. I go, I think his headphones are going out.
Yeah, just catching up with the chat real quick. Adam, we can identify being Bears fans. Kathy Mark says Nick Fortune's taking the Bucks, and then he's throwing shade at West Virginia and the Redskins.
Fuck you, Nick Fortune.
Come on, Justin. They sing a song that's not even actually about their state. It's about the western portion of the state of Virginia. It's not about the state of West Virginia. Like they claim this
song roads, baby,
as their own, but it's not even about their state. It's about another state.
Well, when you get outside the DC bubble, Virginia and West Virginia are the same thing. It's just you got to get rid of the DC bullshit. So it's all beautiful outside.
I don't know. I don't know about the same thing. I've driven through Virginia and I've driven through West Virginia, and let me tell you, I feel a lot better if I'm stopping in Virginia somewhere than West Virginia.
Oh, I disagree.
I'm going to say that right now. I've only been worried staying somewhere once in my life, and it was in West Virginia.
Well, was it Huntington?
No, it was Morgantown.
Morgantown's beautiful, man. You just say you're a Mountaineer fan and you'll get VIP treatment.
Right off the expressway in Morgantown is not beautiful. Let me tell you right now. Not at all.
Hey, it's culture there, baby. A little moonshine, a couple keg stands.
Listen, I'm good with keg stands and moonshine, but I did not feel culture isn't the word I'd use to describe it.
Hey, I love it. I'm going there. Actually, I'm going there tomorrow for the game this weekend against OK State. All right, final game. By far the game of the early window. We kind of got shafted on the short slate, and the matchups really aren't that good. But this has got a juggernaut written all over it. The Lions, the Super Bowl darling, everybody's team now. They keep covering. They cover every fucking game. Jared Goff, all he does is cover. I mean, I've seen people on ESPN say, if you're picking an NFC quarterback, Jared Goff is the pick this week. All of a sudden, I'm like, what world are we living in? A couple of years ago, everybody wanted to kick him to the curb, including the Rams. I'm all over the Ravens. This is the fade the Super Bowl team of the week hype spot. We saw it with Miami when they went to Buffalo, week 4. We saw it with San Fran last week. Nobody was ever going to beat them. Cleveland beat them. This is probably going to be my lock. I'm all over the Ravens here, even though they are coming back from London. But this bad weather, windy, going to be in Baltimore, outside game, back-to-back road spot for the Lions. All over Lamar and Harbaugh and the Ravens to make a statement here. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, I like it. I'm on the same page there. I think David Montgomery is actually going to hurt the Lions more than they realize, or more than everybody else realizes. He's been a beast at moving the ball, moving the chains. I know everybody's excited about Jahmyr Gibbs, but Montgomery's kind of put this running game on his back and carried it. He's out with that rib injury, and I think that's going to bother him a little bit. And I think the Ravens are going to be able to put a little bit of pressure on, as Miranda would call him, Jared Goof. And they're going to put some pressure on him and force him to look a little bit more like Jared Goof than he has been recently. So, yeah, I'm all over this as well. I think the Ravens are going to be able to move the ball well. They're going to use Mark Andrews pretty well and move the ball down the field. Lamar is going to get some of those rushing yards picked up when Aiden Hutchinson's chasing him like a maniac. I don't know if you've seen the breakdown of that guy running like Waluigi, but Google Aiden Hutchinson running like Waluigi, and it's quite humorous. So, yeah, give me the Ravens. I think they win this by a surprising amount of points.
Listen, I hate to go against my favorite, Cornhusker and my favorite Panther over here. You guys, I know you guys, you wear your teams on your sleeve in college and the NFL, but you got to give me the Detroit Lions, because as of this point, the Baltimore Ravens haven't played any good teams. They're 4-2, yes, but they haven't played anybody of substance yet. They've played a very soft schedule. They're benefiting from their third place schedule right now. And you can't tell me that you feel good about the Baltimore Ravens playing a good team, a team that's on the fringe of Super Bowl contention, and that actually has a really good quarterback and receiver to go together. Yes, they limited the Texans early on this season, but that was week 1. CJ Stroud hadn't gotten himself established yet. Since then, they've played the Bengals when Joe Burrow was hurt, the Colts, the Browns, the Steelers, and the Titans. They have not played an offense that can punch with them, and they're going to be struggling. This Ravens offense has been going in fits and spurts and hasn't been able to put up points in a big way yet. Give me the Detroit Lions here and the 3. Take the 3. Take this probably all the way up to 5 is what I'm going to say. Give me the Lions. I think they're going to be good, and I think they're going to handle business here.
Well, there you go. Hey, some diversity. I'm glad you jumped on, Adam, so JMark and I weren't disagreeing. So, yeah, I love the Ravens here. I love fading the Super Bowl team of the week that week.
I will remember Adam picking Jared Goof and picking against the Bears when it's his performance review. Right? Oh no!
Listen, you can go ahead. Listen, we'll sit around the table and share everybody's favorite Adam stories again next year at the fantasy football convention.
That was pretty good.
A good time. But I wouldn't expect anything less from my favorite Illini.
Your words can't hurt me. I'm not that passionate about the Hawkeyes, especially this shit show of a year. So,
has your coach scored enough points to not get fired yet, or no?
No, they don't need to score. They keep winning. It's great.
No, he has the points. He has to cross. What's the number? He's got to score like 25 points a game.
Yeah, I swear to God, if they go 10-2 and they fire him because he didn't score 25 points, that's a fucking joke. I mean, you play to your strengths. I mean, my God, what are we doing? That's the dumbest thing ever.
2 weeks in a row, starting quarterback, and we're winning the games with only 6 completed passes. Who needs an offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I didn't know. When did Iowa become a service academy? That's my question. Right. I didn't know they were out here running the Army offense.
Yeah. Ask Miami how it went for them when they were trying to get 100 yards for their running back instead of kneeling the damn ball against Georgia Tech. Points are overrated, baby. Let's go. Football's back, as Colby would say. All right, man. Lock dog tease. This is going to be good. We got some spicy ones. JMark, you always lead it off. We're hot. Let's stay hot.
All right. I am going to lock the Buffalo Bills 8.5.
Oh,
I agree
yeah.
with that. This is going to be a rout. I'm looking right now at alt points to get some plus money. Just do the ladder bet. Alt 9.5, alt 10, alt 10.5, alt. Just keep betting that all the way to 13.5. 13.5 is where I like to cut it off. But yeah, this is going to be a rout. So give me the Bills to rout them.
I'm locking the Ravens. Like I said, this system, this play has been profitable where we fade the Super Bowl team of the week, and it's the Lions this week. The Eagles and Niners lose. Now everybody's putting the Lions in that category as a front runner. Give me the Ravens at home. They're always good in Baltimore in these big spots. I will back Harbaugh and Lamar as my dog. As my lock. I got a good one for the dog.
I wish I could make it more interesting, but I'm locking up the Bills minus 8.5. Just again, I think it's going to be an absolute disaster for New England this week. This is the week where it gets really loud. Should the Patriots fire Bill Belichick, and when?
Could happen. Dog.
Yeah. Or they're going to trade him to the Commanders.
Hey, give me Bill. Let's go.
I was going to go with the Colts, but I might as well keep disappointing myself. Why not? Let's go Special Agent Bagent. Getting the job done in the Windy City. Give me the Bears to win on the money line. Fuck the Raiders.
I love it, but I was thinking about going there. I was thinking about going to the Giants. Thought about the Colts. Those are too small dogs. Give me the one big dog on the card. Oh, no. Plus 320. Give me Belichick to pull off a Christmas miracle against Buffalo one more time, and then he might retire. They're going to win, and then he's going to retire. Let's go, Patriots, one more time. I'm dying on the sword.
Adam's looking for the mute button.
I'll turn in my resignation on Monday.
You don't got to turn in your resignation. We've moved beyond that. I'm genuinely worried for your financial stability if this is the kind of dogs you're going to put money on. Like, that's reckless right there. There's letting it ride, and then there's just straight up reckless. You think Mac Jones is going to score enough points to win a game against this Buffalo Bills defense?
No, they're going to throw the ball 3 times like they did a couple years ago.
They're not going to. You think Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott are going to run the ball? Yeah, Devin Achane and Raheem Mostert barely could run the ball to keep the Dolphins into it.
It's going to be another windy game. Let's go.
As Moneyline Mac, he can't help but back Mac. It's not his fault.
That's fair. That's fair. What if I told you his name is actually McCorkle? Would that change your answer?
I'm not listening. I got my blinders on.
For my dog, give me the Detroit Lions. I just think that this Lions team is being underrated here, despite being a Super Bowl favorite. Justin, you can thumbs down me all you want, but the 1:00 games are not looking great this weekend, except for this Detroit Lions game. They've been too good, and they look like they're for real. And the Ravens haven't impressed me with their ability to move the ball and score points. The offense looks disjointed. The defense is going to keep them in the game, but on the money line, give me the Lions all day.
All right, so we got some head-to-heads. We got some crossfire. You guys got both Lock and Buffalo and my dog's New England. Adam and I are going head-to-head on Lock Dog as well. JMark's got the Bears. I will say we got some good tease opportunities here. In this early window. Yeah, I was going to do the tease first. Where do you want to go for your tease? I mean, we got some good options here with these 2.5 and 3-point lines, JMark. I mean, 5 out of the 6 games are 3-point or 2.5 point lines.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the easiest one. Tease those Bills down to 2.5, even though you're a maniac and have the Patriots. I'm going to tease the Bears up to 9 points. I don't think Brian Hoyer is going to blow any team out. And then let's see. Do I go Giants or Colts? Go with the Giants. I don't think the Commanders are blowing anybody out either. So give me the Giants up to 8.5.
Ron doesn't know what a blowout is. Every game's unless we get blown out. For my tease, Indy up to 8.5, Giants up to 8.5, and the Falcons up to 8.5. All 8.5 point dogs. All those games that I said, these games are coming down the wire. So 8.5 point dogs for me on my tees.
I'm going to get reckless here, and
there you go.
I'm going to take the Bills up to 14.5.
Oh, for an alt line
the other way. I like it.
Yeah, and we're going up with the Bills because I think they're going to absolutely blow everybody out. And let's get some extra points on the Giants while we're at it too. So just linking those up.
You notice I did not tease the Patriots up to 14.5 because I'm like, if it's close, they can win, but I could see them getting blown out. So I mean, Nick Buffalo
Fortune over here. Justin, is this the Nick I met, or is this a different Nick?
This is the Nick you met.
This is the Nick I met. I like the cut of your jib, sir. I like Nick Fortune. Nick joined us in Canton 2 years ago for the inaugural USFL championship game, or was it the semifinals that we were together for?
Semis, yep.
Semis.
Well, the Bills are going to let you guys down. Let's go Patriots.
Listen, the Bills can't let me down any more than they've already let me down throughout the entirety of my life. So I'm pretty much numb to when the Bills let me down at this point.
This is going to be their last loss, and then they're going to win out and win the Super Bowl. So that's my prediction. 4-3, and then they run the table. They get right after this.
They're going to start running the table now. I mean, they're good until they hit the Bengals again, and the Bengals game is going to be interesting because the Bengals look like they're in a rough spot right now. And the Bills got to figure out this offense. The Bills need to make a move. The Bills are one of my prime teams to make a move, along with the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to make a move for a receiver because there's just too many good receivers that are gettable right now via trade. So I think we have potential to see a very active NFL trade deadline, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, it will. I mean, shit, the NFL trading deadlines become basically what the NBA one is. I mean, that the NBA offseason is more exciting than the actual season. The actual season sucks. All they do is load management and fake injury. So until the playoffs, but
they got to put rules on how many games guys can play because it's not a real sport. So
now they're gonna be rested up for the midseason tournament. I mean, what the hell is that about? All right, let's go Moneyline round robin. I'm not talking you guys into the Patriots, obviously. So let's move along. What dog did we like? We all like the Giants, unfortunately.
I like the Cardinals actually. Oh wait, no, that's a little too late in the day, isn't it? Whoops.
No. We can go off board for the round robin.
Oh, we can go off board.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
I like them to cover, not win.
Give me the Cardinals to win outright. They've looked frisky with Josh Dobbs, and he's kind of got his. Y'all have seen the movie The Replacements, right?
Yes.
Like this is Josh Dobbs's replacement moment. He's about to get replaced by Kyler Murray. He gets to go out in a blaze of glory, a la Footsteps Falco here, before riding off into the sunset with the cheerleader to scrape barnacles off of rich guys' boats. Give me Josh Dobbs here, balling out one last time for the guys. And, he's going to show up, with the Jimmy Butler hair at 1.2 to look a little like Keanu Reeves and give an inspiring speech before leading this team of misfits to a big win here.
I don't like fading Gino Bambino, but I'll allow it since you're a guest.
I actually like the Cardinals here too. JMark, do you like the Cardinals?
Not at all, but I'll go with it. I'll ride with you guys. I think the Cardinals cover, but I think the Seahawks still win. So, but I'll ride with it. Adam's the guest, and
So Giants and the Cardinals. The only and then we got to have one more.
Colts? Do we think the Dolphins get it done against the Eagles?
No,
I actually think the Eagles are going to fuck them up.
I think
I hate
the absolute loving.
Well, we knew you were going to say that.
No, and this is if you just took it in a vacuum. I think the thing that the Dolphins defense struggled with was dynamic receiving and a mobile quarterback. I mean, you look at it; they haven't beat a team with a record above 500 yet.
Yeah.
They played one team with a winning record on the year, and it's the Bills. And look at what happened to them. They're a good offense and they can punch above their weight class. But the problem is the Eagles secondary is good enough to make Tua not be able to immediately hit his first read all the time. And we saw that when the Bills got him off schedule, They really were just messing things up for them and really wrecking that team. And that's what this Eagles defense is even more so built to do. And Tua is going to be having to move a lot and make a lot of off schedule throws. And he really struggles with that. So although the recipe seems there, I can't trust the Dolphins against a team like the Eagles, especially coming off a loss.
Well, and the other game that Miami struggled too, I know they have sucked. The Patriots gave the Dolphins fits outside. You get them away from that Miami South Beach or in a dome in LA, that offense doesn't click and run the way it does. What do you guys think about the Steelers? Tomlin off a bye as a dog.
I like backing Tomlin as a dog. That Rams team, I think they're getting close to popping off. We were both on the Colts. Adam, what do you think about Colts beating the Browns?
Colts over Browns?
I'm going to struggle to pick against the Browns again, especially coming off a big win. PJ Walker also playing for his football life here. You know, he looked good last week against a tough 49ers defense. What's he going to do against a Colts defense that isn't the same? And the Colts are no longer holding out hope for Anthony Richardson. The Colts are going to try to lose games now to get a better draft pick. I can't get on board with the Colts heading into this weekend.
Gardner Minshew didn't take a shit for 3 weeks because he's not going to be number 2. Come on.
Hey, what about the Bears? I know you picked the Raiders, Adam. I really think the Bears, this is a good spot for it.
You know I'm on it.
I can't. I value quarterback play so much, and just looking at Brian Hoyer, Brian Hoyer could start. Like if you put Brian Hoyer on the Falcons right now, how much better would the Falcons be? I mean,
they need to play Heineke.
If they played Heineke, but Hoyer's probably better than Heineke. I can't.
Hey, watch it.
I love Taylor Heineke as much as the next guy, but Brian Hoyer remained in the NFL throughout his career. Well, Taylor
fighting
Heineke.
Words.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you a good one on Monday night. Niners are banged the hell up, man.
Primetime Cousins? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the only part, and they don't have Jefferson.
I'll ride with the Steelers with you.
Steelers?
We back Tomlin as a dog. That's a show rule.
Okay. It's a small money line dog. What about the Broncos and the Packers?
JMark's going to sign off on the Broncos. I like the Broncos too. So the Broncos.
I mean, Russell Wilson's been quietly really good this year, and the Broncos are kind of starting to get right, and the Packers aren't right. The Packers
suck.
My concern is the last time we did one of these with the Packers or a team that was playing the Packers, it was our 33-1, and the Saints fucked it up and let the Packers win. That's my concern.
It was 17-0 goddamn lead in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
But no, I'll go with that. I think that puts us at 17-1?
Yep. I'm seeing 16-1, 17-1. So there you go. New York Football Giants. I hope we're wrong, but probably going to be right. I mean, I'm 5-1 picking Skins games. The only game I missed was the Broncos blowing a 20-point lead in the second quarter. Cardinals get it done in Seattle. Fade Geno as a big favorite. That hurts too, man. He's a West Virginia guy. So, yeah, I'm fading all my guys. And Denver, 16-1.
All right.
I like it. We plug it in. Let's go. Adam, before we get out of here, tell us what you got going on. I know you got a lot going on. You got basketball starting up. You got football in mid form. We got the MLB playoffs. We got NHL.
I mean, let's just talk about everything we have on SGPN right now. There is nothing better than the falls at SGPN. We've got college basketball firing. We've got daily playoff baseball. We've got daily NHL picks. We've got daily NBA getting ready to start. And of course, the most important, the National Football League. Make sure you're joining us every weekend. Don't let your bar put some crappy ESPN show where they're going to pretend to know about gambling on the TV. Tell your bar, we want the SGPN pregame show. Starting at 10:30, we got the NFL Gambling Podcast. Then at 11, we've got the SGPN Fantasy Football Lounge where we're answering all your start-sit questions. And then we cap it off with the big dog, Sean Green and Ryan Kramer at noon, bringing you the SGP pre-game show.
That's pretty damn good. I like it. But yeah, no, we got so much shit going on. College basketball's starting. Let's go. JMark.
I'm ready to be hurt by the Syracuse Orange again. The
Hey,
annual tradition.
Uncle Bernie ain't there anymore.
There's something Adam and I can bond over. I am also a big Syracuse Orange college basketball fan since the Jerry McNamara days.
How do you have split college sports allegiance? That just feels wrong.
I really don't.
That's like I have a spring wife, I have a summer wife, I have a fall wife, and I have a winter wife.
The thing is, you assume I actively root for Iowa. I mean, I generally want them to do well. I got a lot of Iowa Hawkeye fan friends, but when they lose, I don't give a shit.
Based on how offended you get when I call you my favorite Vandal, you get, I assumed you cared about the Hawkeyes.
It's mainly when you call me a Husker. That's what's offensive. Nobody wants to be a Husker except Nebraska Cornhuskers. You can find me on the X at JMark Football. Check out everything we got going on at Old Fashioned Football, whether it's waivers, whiskey, or start sit. Bringing you all sorts of stuff and arguing with the wife. I mean, that's the most fun of it. So
can't beat it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's not. You're not allowed to beat your wife. You're right.
He's arguing with the smarter, funnier half of his relationship. It never ends well for him.
Yeah, don't beat your wife like Ray Rice. Don't do that.
No, Miranda beats him. Miranda beats him in fantasy. I mean, she bullied him in the auction draft we did with listeners, and their team is absolute garbage right now.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great feeling, JMark, outscoring everyone in that league by like 100+ points. Absolutely glorious.
She did bully me into spending way too much on Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. That was sickening.
You've turned into a Swiftie on me, JMark. So
he's always been a Swiftie. They were rolling up. They rolled up to Canton playing Party in the USA.
That's Miley Cyrus, but that's fine.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Close to fucking enough. I agree. You guys can find me on the X at Moneyline_Mac. Adam talked about it. College basketball's here, man. If you want to get entertained every single night at midnight, go check out Pick Dundee and myself. That show is a riot. So get in the chat and go check out the college football experience with those guys. And stay tuned to the NFL Gambling Podcast. Scott and Terrell will have the afternoon slate. Moonoff and Lante doing the Sunday morning show. Good luck with your Thursday night bets, whatever side you're on. What's that?
What about the Big 12 experience? You're skipping over your favorite podcast, the Big 12 experience. Moneyline Mac also bringing you your Big 12 college basketball preview, dropping any day now. And he's getting it together for you NBA draft nicks out there. The NCAA players you need to watch in advance of this college basketball season. Don't let him Justin, you never let this man undersell how hard he's working and the grind he's putting in. And Justin undersold it himself as well. If you're not listening to SGPN, what are you doing?
Agree. Hey, you know what? Sometimes we just operate hour to hour. You forget about all the stuff we're doing. But yes, we got a lot going on. So make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you guys, I guess, tomorrow for Scott and Terrell. And don't forget to let it ride.